A man walks into a café, still grieving his wife. It's been 3 years since he's done anything remotely close to this. 3 years since the accident that took her from him. His sister set up this blind date, or so he thought. He takes a breath and scans the room, looking for the woman he's supposed to meet. A stranger named Freya. Then his eyes lock on a table by the window, and his heart drops. His daughter. His 9-year-old daughter is sitting there, swinging her legs beneath the chair, grinning like she knows exactly what she's done. And across from her, looking just as confused, is a woman with kind eyes and dark hair. His blind date. What the hell is my daughter doing here? She's supposed to be at home with the sitter. Nothing about this makes sense. What he doesn't know is that this encounter, this strange, impossible moment, is about to unravel everything he thought he knew about love and change all 3 of their lives forever. Before we continue, let us know in the comment section where in the world you're tuning in from. We love seeing how far our stories reach. And if this story speaks to you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Enzo forces his legs to move. One step, then another. The cafe feels too bright, too loud, too full of people living normal lives, while his has just tilted sideways. Leah sees him coming, and her grin widens. Freya follows her gaze, her confusion deepening as this man, tall, tired-looking, with shadows under his eyes, approaches their table. "Dad," Leah says brightly, like they'd planned this all along. "Leah." His voice comes out strangled. "What are you doing here?" "Surprise." She bounces in her seat. "I wanted to make sure you actually came." Freya's eyebrows shoot up. "Wait, this is your dad?" "Yeah," Leah beams. "Enzo, meet Freya. Freya, meet my dad." Enzo stares at his daughter, then at Freya, then back at Leah. You set this up?" "Uh-huh." Leah nods proudly. "Aunt Maria thinks she did, but I used her phone." "You've been sad for too long, Dad. Mom wouldn't want you to be sad forever." The mention of Esther hits him like a fist to the chest. He can't breathe, can't process this. His 9-year-old daughter catfished him into a blind date? Freya clears her throat softly. I'm really confused right now, but maybe you should sit down." Enzo doesn't know what else to do, so he sits. His hands are shaking. He shoves them under the table. "Leah," he says, trying to keep his voice steady. "This isn't okay. You can't just—" I know. Leah sighs dramatically. "But you kept saying no. And I saw Freya's profile on Aunt Maria's dating app. And she seemed really nice. And she likes soccer too, so I thought—" "You went through Maria's dating app?" "Just a little." Leah shrugs. "Anyway, I'm gonna go get a cookie. You two should talk." She hops off her chair before Enzo can stop her, skipping toward the counter like she hasn't just blown up his entire evening. Silence falls over the table, heavy and awkward. Freya speaks first. "So, this is not how I imagined tonight going. Join the club." Enzo runs a hand through his hair. "I'm so sorry. I had no idea I thought my sister set this up. I didn't know Leah was involved. I didn't even know she knew what a dating app was." She's resourceful, I'll give her that. Freya's lips twitch into a small smile. And for what it's worth, she wrote a pretty convincing profile. Despite everything, Enzo almost laughs. Almost. "I should leave. This is insane. I should take her home and ground her until she's 30. "You could." Freya tilts her head. "Or you could stay. I mean, we're already here, and your daughter clearly went through a lot of trouble." Enzo looks at her, really looks at her for the first time. She has warm brown eyes and a kindness in her face that makes something in his chest loosen, just a little. She's not running? She's not angry. She's just here. I don't know what to say. He admits. Start with why you haven't dated in 3 years. The question is gentle, not pushy, but it still cuts deep. Enzo swallows hard. My wife, Esther. She died 3 years ago. Car accident. The words taste like ash. I asked her to pick up groceries that morning. She didn't want to go. Said we could order them online. But I insisted because I needed something for dinner that night, and he stops. His throat closes up. It was raining. He continues quietly. Roads were slick. A truck ran a red light, and she didn't make it. He looks down at his hands. If I hadn't asked her to go, if I'd just listened to her, it wasn't your fault. Freya's voice is soft but firm. Feels like it was. I know that feeling. Freya stares at her coffee cup. My fiancé, Jeremy, he went missing 2 years ago. Just vanished. Left for work one morning and never came home. No note, no explanation, no body. Enzo's head snaps up. They never found him? No. She shakes her head. Police investigated. Friends, family, everyone searched. It's like he disappeared into thin air. And the worst part is not knowing if he's alive, if he's hurt, if he left on purpose, if something terrible happened. Her voice cracks slightly. At least with death, there's closure. This is just waiting, forever waiting. I'm sorry. And he means it. He can't imagine living in that kind of limbo. Me too. Freya meets his eyes. For you? For your daughter? Losing a mother at that age? She was 6 when it happened. Too young to really understand. But old enough to remember. Enzo glances toward the counter where Leah is chatting animatedly with the barista. She's the only reason I'm still functioning. Some days I don't want to get out of bed. But she needs me, so I do. She loves you. That's obvious. She thinks I need to move on. She keeps saying Esther would want me to be happy. He laughs bitterly. She's probably right. Esther would have kicked my ass by now for moping around. But I can't let go of the guilt. Guilt is easier than grief sometimes, Freya says quietly. If we're guilty, we have something to hold on to. Someone to blame, even if it's ourselves. Enzo stares at her. She gets it. She actually gets it. Is that what you're doing? He asks, holding on to guilt. Maybe. I keep thinking if I'd paid more attention that morning, if I'd noticed something was wrong, if I'd asked more questions. She trails off. But the truth is, I don't know what happened. And I might never know. So yeah, I'm stuck, just like you. They sit in that shared understanding for a moment. 2 broken people at a table in a café, brought together by a 9-year-old with too much determination and access to technology. Leah returns with a chocolate chip cookie the size of her face. So, are you guys friends now? Enzo and Freya exchange glances. Maybe, Freya says. Good. Leah takes a huge bite of cookie. Because I think you'd be good for each other. Leah, I'm just saying. She grins through a mouthful of chocolate. You both look less sad when you talk. Out of the mouths of babes. They stay another 20 minutes. The conversation flows easier now, lighter. They talk about small things, favorite movies, worst jobs, embarrassing moments. Leah interjects with stories about school and soccer and her best friend who eats ketchup on everything. When they finally stand to leave, Freya hesitates. This might be weird, but could I get your number? Your real number this time, not filtered through a 9-year-old mastermind. Enzo feels something flutter in his chest. Something he hasn't felt in 3 years. Something dangerous and terrifying, and maybe, just maybe, a little bit like hope. Yeah, yeah, okay. They exchange numbers. Their fingers brush as she hands his phone back, and the touch lingers longer than it should. Outside, under the glow of streetlights, Leah takes her father's hand. She's nice, right? She whispers. Yes, sweetheart. She's nice. Are you mad at me? Enzo looks down at his daughter, this fierce, loving, impossible child who refuses to let him drown in his grief. I should be. What you did was wrong. But I'm not. He squeezes her hand. Not completely, anyway. Leah smiles, and for the first time in 3 years, Enzo smiles back without forcing it. That night, after Leah is tucked into bed, his phone buzzes. Freya, thank you for staying tonight. I know it was strange, but I'm glad I met you. Both of you. His fingers hover over the keyboard. Then he types back. Me too. The texts start small. Good morning messages. How was your day? Leah asks about you. Simple things that don't demand too much, but keep the thread between them alive. Freya. Leah's hilarious, by the way. She sent me a friend request on Instagram. Should I be worried? Enzo. Very. She's relentless. Fair warning. Freya. I like relentless. Days turn into a week. The texts get longer. Late night. Conversations when Leah's asleep and the house is too quiet and the ghosts feel too close. Freya tells him about her job at the library, about the regular patrons she's grown to love, about the older man who comes in every Tuesday to read the same mystery novels over and over because he forgets he's already read them. Enzo tells her about his work as a graphic designer, about clients who want 17 revisions and still aren't happy, about how Esther used to joke that he'd go gray before 40 dealing with people who couldn't decide between navy blue and royal blue. He hasn't said her name that easily in years. 2 weeks after the café, Freya texts him something different. Freya. Leah mentioned she has a soccer game Saturday. Would it be weird if I came? No pressure, just thought I'd ask. Enzo stares at his phone. His first instinct is to say yes. It would be weird. Too fast. Too much. But then he thinks about the way Leah's face lit up when she talked about Freya at dinner last night, about how she asked 3 times if he was going to text her back. Enzo, she'd love that. Games at 10. I'll send you the address. Saturday morning is crisp and clear. Enzo spots Freya the moment she walks onto the field. Jeans, sneakers, a light jacket, hair pulled back in a ponytail. She looks nervous. You came, he says, and he's smiling before he can stop himself. I promised, didn't I? She glances toward the field where kids are warming up. Which one's Leah? Number 7, the one currently doing cartwheels instead of stretching. Freya laughs. That tracks. They sit together on the metal bleachers, close enough that their shoulders almost touch. The game starts, and Leah plays like she's got something to prove. Fast, aggressive, fearless. She scores twice, and each time she looks toward the stands to make sure they're watching. She's really good, Freya says. She gets that from Esther. I'm useless at sports. It's the first time he's said something positive about Esther without the words getting stuck. Freya notices. She doesn't comment, but her hand brushes against his, and this time she doesn't pull away. After the game, Leah runs over, sweaty and breathless and grinning. Did you see? Did you see my second goal? We saw. Enzo ruffles her hair. You were amazing. Leah turns to Freya. What did you think? I think you're going to be a professional someday. Freya holds up her hand for a high five, and Leah slaps it enthusiastically. Can Freya come to lunch with us, please? Enzo looks at Freya. She looks at him. There's a question in her eyes, and he answers it with a small nod. "I'd love to," Freya says. They go to a diner that serves breakfast all day. Leah orders pancakes with whipped cream and strawberries and talks non-stop about the game, about school, about everything and nothing. Freya listens like every word matters, asks questions, laughs at Leah's jokes, even when they don't quite land. Enzo watches them together and feels something crack open inside him. Something that's been sealed shut for 3 years. Over the next few weeks, it becomes a routine. Freya at soccer games. Sunday afternoon walks in the park. Movie nights where Leah falls asleep 20 minutes in and they keep watching anyway, talking in whispers so they don't wake her. One evening, after Leah's in bed, Enzo walks Freya to her car. It's late October now, and the air smells like wood smoke and dying leaves. "Thank you," he says, "for being so patient with all this. With me. With my mess." "You're not a mess." Freya leans against her car. "You're grieving. There's a difference. Feels like the same thing most days." "I know." She looks up at the stars. "But some days are better than others now, aren't they?" He thinks about it, really thinks. Yeah, they are. That's progress. Is it progress for you too? He's never asked her directly, never wanted to push. Freya is quiet for a long moment. "I think so. I don't check my phone hoping for a message from Jeremy anymore. I don't expect him to walk through my door. I'm starting to accept that he's gone, even if I don't know where or why." She meets Enzo's eyes, and that terrifies me. Because if I accept it, if I move on, what does that make me? Human. Enzo steps closer. It makes you human. I miss him. Her voice breaks. But I also can't keep living like he's coming back. I can't keep waiting. You don't have to. Don't I? She laughs, but there's no humor in it. What if he does come back? What if I move on and then he shows up and... Freya. Enzo reaches for her hand. You can't live your life on what-ifs. Believe me, I've tried. It'll destroy you. She squeezes his hand. Her eyes are glassy with unshed tears. When did you get so wise? About 5 minutes ago. He smiles softly. I'm figuring this out as I go. Me too. They stand there in the quiet, hands linked, the space between them charged with something neither of them is quite ready to name yet. 3 days later, Enzo asks her on a real date. Just the two of them. No Leah, no distractions. Are you sure? Freya asks over the phone. No, but I want to try. Okay. He can hear the smile in her voice. Let's try. The restaurant is small and intimate, candles on every table, soft jazz playing in the background. Enzo's hands are sweating. He hasn't been this nervous since his first date with Esther 15 years ago. But Freya is there, across from him, looking beautiful in a simple dress. And suddenly the nervousness fades into something warmer. They talk about everything. About their childhoods, their families, their dreams before life got complicated. Freya wanted to be a writer once. Enzo wanted to travel the world. They laugh about how different life turned out, but also about how maybe it's not too late to want things again. Can I tell you something? Freya says, halfway through dessert. I haven't felt this alive in 2 years, and it scares the hell out of me. Good scared or bad scared? Both. She reaches across the table, fingers finding his. But mostly good. Enzo's heart is pounding. I feel the same way. Like I'm betraying Esther just by being here. But also like maybe this is what she'd want, for me to keep living. She'd want that. Freya's grip tightens. And Jeremy, wherever he is, would want that for me too. I have to believe that. Outside the restaurant, under the glow of streetlights and a half moon, Enzo walks Freya to her car. Neither of them wants the night to end. "Thank you," she whispers, "for tonight, for everything. Thank you for giving me a reason to try again." They're standing so close now. Close enough that he can see the flecks of gold in her brown eyes, close enough to feel the warmth radiating off her skin. "Enzo," she breathes. And then he kisses her. It's soft and tentative, and tastes like wine and hope and second chances. When they pull apart, Freya's eyes are bright. "I love you." The words tumble out before Enzo can stop them. God, is it too soon to say that? Maybe it's too soon. I love you too. Freya's laughing and crying at the same time. "I love you too." They kiss again, longer this time, deeper, like they're making up for all the lost time and lonely nights and futures they thought they'd never have. That night, Freya drives home with a lightness in her chest she hasn't felt in years. She parks in her driveway, leans back in her seat, and just breathes. Really breathes. She's alive. She's in love. She's allowed to be happy. Inside her apartment, she changes into pajamas and climbs into bed, replaying the entire evening in her head. Enzo's smile, his kiss, the way he said, "I love you," like he was handing her his heart and trusting her not to break it. Her phone buzzes on the nightstand, probably Enzo saying goodnight. She picks it up smiling before she even looks at the screen. But the message isn't from Enzo. Unknown number. 3 words that make her blood turn cold. "I miss you, Frey." Frey. Only one person ever called her that. Only one person shortened her name that exact way, with that exact spelling. Jeremy. Her hands start shaking. The phone slips from her fingers onto the blanket. She stares at the message like it might disappear if she looks at it long enough. No, this isn't possible. Jeremy's been gone for 2 years. 2 years of silence. 2 years of searching and waiting, and finally starting to move on. It has to be a mistake. A cruel joke. Someone who got her number by accident. She deletes the message with trembling fingers, blocks the number, throws her phone onto the nightstand like it might burn her. But she can't unsee those words. "I miss you, Frey." And as she lies in the darkness, staring at the ceiling, her chest tight with something between hope and horror, one thought keeps circling through her mind. What if it's really him? Freya doesn't sleep. She lies in bed, staring at the ceiling, watching shadows shift across the walls as headlights pass outside. Every time she closes her eyes, she sees those 3 words. Every time her phone buzzes, her heart stops, but it doesn't buzz again. By morning, she's convinced herself it was nothing. A wrong number. Some kid pranking random people. A glitch. Anything except what her heart keeps whispering in the dark spaces of her mind. She showers, gets dressed, tries to act normal. Enzo texted her goodnight after she'd already deleted the message, and she'd forced herself to respond with a heart emoji, nothing more. She can't tell him. Not yet. Not when she doesn't even know what it means. Besides, they're supposed to meet today. He's taking her to this little bookstore he loves, the one Leah keeps talking about, that has a cat that sits in the window and judges customers. Freya needs normal. She needs to see Enzo's face and remember that last night was real, that what they have is real. She's pulling on her jacket when someone knocks on her door. It's too early for Enzo. They're not meeting for another hour. Freya opens the door, expecting a delivery or a neighbor or literally anyone else. Jeremy is standing there. The world tilts. Her knees buckle. She grabs the doorframe to keep from falling. He looks exactly the same. Same brown hair, same green eyes, same dimple in his left cheek when he smiles. He's thinner maybe, a little worn around the edges. But it's him. It's undeniably, impossibly him. "Hi, Frey." His voice cracks. "I missed you, baby." She can't speak, can't breathe, can't process what she's seeing. Can I come in?" He shifts his weight nervously. "I know this is a shock. I know I owe you explanations. I know." "Where were you?" The words rip out of her, raw and sharp. "Where the hell were you?" It's complicated. He runs a hand through his hair, and the gesture is so familiar, it makes her chest ache. "Can we talk inside? Please?" Freya's mind is screaming at her. Screaming to slam the door, to call the police, to call Enzo, to do anything except let this ghost from her past cross her threshold. But her body moves on autopilot, stepping aside, letting him in. Jeremy walks into her apartment like he still belongs there. He looks around, taking in the changes, the new couch, the different curtains, the photos on the wall that don't include him anymore. "You redecorated," he says softly. "You were gone for 2 years." Her voice is shaking. "What did you expect?" I know, and I'm sorry. God, Frey, I'm so sorry." He turns to face her, and there are tears in his eyes. "I wanted to contact you. Every single day, I wanted to call, to text, to let you know I was okay. But I couldn't. Why not? I was in trouble. Bad trouble. I owed money to people you don't say no to. And they were going to hurt you to get to me." The words pour out fast, desperate. "So I left. I disappeared to keep you safe. I've been working, saving, trying to pay off what I owed so I could come back. And I finally did it. I'm free. We're free." Freya's head is spinning. "You're lying. I'm not. You left me. You let me think you were dead. You let me grieve for 2 years, and now you show up talking about debt and danger like that? Makes it okay?" "It doesn't make it okay." Jeremy steps closer. "Nothing makes it okay, but I had no choice, Frey. If I'd stayed, they would have killed you. I left to save your life." "Stop." She holds up a hand. "Just stop. I can't do this right now. I love you." His voice breaks. "I never stopped loving you. I thought about you every day. I dreamed about coming home to you. That's what kept me going." Tears stream down Freya's face. "You don't get to do this. You don't get to walk back into my life and say you love me like nothing happened. I know it's not that simple. It's not simple at all." She's shouting now. "Do you have any idea what you put me through? The police investigations, the search parties, the nights I stayed awake wondering if you were hurt, or dead, or if you'd left me on purpose. I mourned you, Jeremy. I buried you in my heart because I had no body to bury anywhere else. I'm sorry." He's crying too now. "I'm so sorry." They stand there in her living room. Two people who once planned a future together, now strangers separated by an ocean of hurt. Freya's phone buzzes. She glances at it automatically. "Enzo. On my way. Can't wait to see you." The text is like a bucket of ice water. "Enzo. God. Enzo. You're seeing someone." Jeremy's seen her face, read the truth there. "That's none of your business." "It is, if we're getting back together." "We're not getting back together." The words explode out of her. You can't just show up and expect everything to go back to how it was." "Why not?" Jeremy's voice rises. "We were engaged, Frey. We were going to get married. We had plans. We had a life." Had. Past tense. She's shaking so hard she can barely stand. "That life ended 2 years ago when you disappeared. But I'm back now. I'm here. We can start over. We can..." Another knock on the door. Freya's heart stops. "No, not now. Please, not now." But she knows. She knows who it is before she even looks through the peephole. Enzo stands on her doorstep, holding a bouquet of sunflowers, her favorite, because she'd mentioned it once in passing, and he'd remembered. He's smiling, that soft smile that makes her feel safe and seen and whole. She opens the door slowly. "Hey," Enzo says. "I know I'm early, but I passed the flower shop and I thought..." He stops. His eyes move past her to Jeremy, standing in the middle of her living room. The smile dies on his face. "What's going on?" Freya can't find words, can't think, can't breathe. Jeremy steps forward. "Who are you?" Enzo looks at Freya, confusion and hurt dawning in his eyes. Who is this, Freya?" "This is Jeremy." The words taste like ash. "My fiancé." "Ex-fiancé," Enzo says. And it's not a question, it's a desperate hope. Freya can't answer, because she doesn't know. Is Jeremy her ex? Can someone be your ex when they never officially ended things, when they just vanished, when you never got closure? "Not ex," Jeremy says firmly. "We never broke up. I just had to leave for a while." "A while?" Enzo's voice is sharp now, hurt turning to anger. 2 years is a while? I don't expect you to understand. You're right, I don't. Enzo looks at Freya again, and the pain in his eyes makes her want to die. "Freya, what is this?" "I don't know." It's the only honest answer she has. "He showed up this morning. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know he was coming back. But he's back now." Enzo's jaw clenches. "And you let him in." What was I supposed to do? Slam the door in his face? Maybe. Enzo's hands shake around the sunflowers. "God, Freya, we said we loved each other last night. And now?" He looks at Jeremy, then back at her. "Is that what I am? A placeholder until he came back?" "No." The word tears out of her. "No, Enzo, it's not like that." "Then what is it like?" His voice cracks. "Because from where I'm standing, the love of your life just walked back through your door, and I'm just the guy who helped you pass the time. That's not fair. None of this is fair." He's shouting now, and Enzo never shouts. "I opened my heart to you. I let you in. I let Leah love you. And now what? You're going to choose him? The man who abandoned you for 2 years?" "I didn't abandon her." Jeremy cuts in. "I was protecting her." "Stay out of this," Enzo snaps, not taking his eyes off Freya. "This is between me and her." "Actually, it's between me and her," Jeremy says. "We were together first. We have history." "History?" Enzo laughs bitterly. "She spent 2 years grieving you. 2 years thinking you were dead. And I was there. I was there when she cried about you, when she talked about how much it hurt not knowing. Where were you?" "Trying to stay alive so I could come back to her." "Enough!" Freya's scream cuts through the argument. "Both of you, just stop." Silence crashes down. Both men stare at her, waiting. Freya looks at Jeremy, the man she'd planned to marry, the man who knew her before grief carved her into someone new. Then she looks at Enzo, the man who helped her remember how to live again, who looked at her broken pieces and didn't flinch. Her heart is tearing itself in two. "I need time," she whispers. "I need to think." "Time?" Enzo's face crumbles. "Freya, please, don't do this." "I don't know what else to do." Tears stream down her face. "Jeremy was my whole future. We were building a life. And then he vanished, and I had to rebuild myself from nothing. And now he's back, and you're here, and I don't." Her voice breaks. "I don't know how to choose." "Choose?" Enzo stares at her like she's just driven a knife between his ribs. "You're actually considering this. You're actually thinking about going back to him." "I don't know what I'm thinking." She's sobbing now. "I just need time to process this. Please." Enzo drops the sunflowers. They scatter across her doorstep, bright yellow petals against gray concrete. I open my heart to you, he says quietly. After 3 years of being dead inside, I let myself feel again. For you. He backs away. But I can't compete with a ghost, and I won't wait around while you figure out if I'm worth choosing. Enzo, please. But he's already walking away, down the stairs, out of sight. Freya stands frozen in her doorway, tears streaming down her face, Jeremy behind her, and Enzo's retreating figure in front of her. 2 men, 2 futures, 2 different versions of herself reflected in their eyes. And she has no idea which one is real. Jeremy's hand touches her shoulder. Frey, come inside. Let's talk. We can figure this out. She looks at his hand, then at the empty stairwell where Enzo disappeared. Her phone buzzes one last time. She doesn't look at it, can't look at it, because whatever it says will either break her heart or make her decision for her, and she's not ready for either. If you enjoyed this story and want to see what Freya chooses, drop part 2 in the comments right now. What would you do if you were in Freya's shoes? The person you thought you lost forever comes back just when you'd found someone new. Would you choose the past or the future? Drop your answer below. Your thoughts might just influence what happens next. Don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who loves a good love story, and subscribe to Soul Story for more emotional journeys that'll keep you guessing until the very end. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss part 2. We'll see you in the next one.